Good evening, Ms. Fondler. This is Dr. Khodaie, and I'm going to ask you a few questions. As you know, recently, Mahsa Amini has been beaten by guidance patrol police officers for allegedly violating the Iranians' mandatory hijab laws. And in reaction to her death, the civil unrest and protesters erupted all around the country since September 2022, and it is still ongoing. In response to the protesters, the government have killed the people in the street. They have used fire guns, they have used tear gas, they have killed more than 488 people in the street with 46 minors, and also they have blinded more than 500 people. They have arrested more than 19,000 people, and they are already in jail. So looking at all that is going in Iran, and this is still going on, I want to know what is the role of the European Union in promoting international solidarity and protecting universal human rights. And do European countries ensure that human rights are respected and upheld across the world?
Thank you for this question. I hear your phone ringing, but that's funny. For me, I'm a city councillor in a little state, Almere. It's the 5th biggest city of the Netherlands. And for me, it's very important, but I can't talk about the European Union. I can only talk about our party, and we're fighting. We're fighting for human rights. We're fighting for women's rights, but also for children's rights and little girls, because we need to show the world that we're here and that there are women that they need attention. We need to talk about it. We need to be free to talk about what we want to talk about. And we need to share with stories of you and from Pari and from me, like we have to be there because other women need to see that they're not alone. I think that's the biggest thing I can help you with, because I'm not in the opposition to talk about the European Union. I'm not, but I can only talk about it and shout it out loud. And that's what I'm doing. I'm talking about it every time I ask people asking me. I was in a plane flying back from Switzerland to the Netherlands, and there was this girl crying. She was afraid, and she heard that friends of her were attacked in Iran, and they're not answering their phone anymore. So that's not good, but that's reality.
Yes, that's sad. And I really appreciate that, because the brave people in Iran, specifically the brave ladies in Iran who are fighting on their lives for their freedom, they need brave ladies outside of the country.
Yeah, you need people around you.
A lot, you know.
So that's what women do. We have to combine together, you know. We have to make a bond, and we let the energy roll.
Exactly. It's not just the women's, actually, it's a human thing, you know. It doesn't matter. That lady can be your mother, can be your sister, can be your wife, your daughter, doesn't matter. If you are a man, you are still involved with this fight. And we appreciate also the young, brave men in our country who are supporting the ladies. They are all in the street fighting this brutal government. But also, I wanted to know, how do you think the current refugee crisis in Europe affects the issue of international solidarity and human rights? And what policies do you believe should be put in place to address the crisis in a way that is consistent with the human rights principles?
Yeah. That's also what I told you in my first answer. I can't speak for the European Union, but what I think is that we need to step up, and we need to show everyone that we're not tolerating this. But that's not up to me. I'm not in the European. I'm in the city hall. I'm in a big city, and here in our country we have a lot of people coming from Iran and from Serbia, but also from Ukraine. And all these people, we're coming in and we're talking to them. Those stories, they hit you. So we need to make them aware. We need to make people aware through interviews, to everything, to make them sure, yeah, they have to be helped. But I don't know how, but we must take that out there.
Okay. Do you believe that international community needs to do more support to the rise of the Iranian people for human rights?
That's also the same question, but a little bit different. I think we need to show and we need to step up, but that's what I have to talk about in Brussels, and not, I can't talk about that because that's not my part, but I can say that I think for me that we need to step up. Yes.
Okay. And in your view, what is the role of your specific country in addressing the challenges related to human rights in Iran? And as a lady in the city hall, are you going to talk to your government to take any action?
I'm already talking to my government about Iran. I was already, and not only with this interview, but I was already, and they're saying we're looking at it, and what we need to do is make people aware, because people hear it and then you don't hear it anymore. So we need to talk about it because it's not gone. And when you looked at Persia and Iran a couple of years ago, it was just as beautiful as Europe. It's still beautiful, and women, you were allowed to wear a scarf, but you were allowed to wear not. You may choose yourself, and I think if you want to choose to wear a scarf, it's perfect.
That's
If
your
you don't
choice.
want it, it's also good, but you have to make your own choice. This is your body, this is your choice, and that's what we think must be the human rights thing. And I think when you look at the Article 1, that's in our law, and that's saying that every person has to be who they want to be, and every person is not allowed to be discriminated on belief or sexuality or gender or age or like everything. So that's what I think needs to be done also. But we're trying, we're working on it.
Okay, I really appreciate that. And I want to know what specific governmental actions do you propose to support Iranians for achieving restoration of human rights in their countries?
But that's also a thing I'm not allowed to do because I'm not in the
But you can
parliament.
propose.
I can propose, yeah, but that's what I have to do in behind the doors, because if I do that outside, I can't talk to them anymore about it. So we're talking about it. That's what I can tell you.
Okay, I see, I see. But to be honest, I'm really happy and I deeply appreciate your time talking about the brave ladies, their fight in the street for their freedom and their rights.
Yeah,
And
but
the more we talk, the more we have people like you interested, paying attention to what is going on the other countries, because you know nowadays world is like a big village and everybody is somehow connected to the other one. I know that brave ladies, when they see the other ladies out of their
thank
country, they are
you.
caring for them, they are fighting for them. It means a lot for them. But to be honest, we need to take it to the higher political levels, because
I know,
the
but I'm
thinking
doing
about
that.
them may give them some relief, may give them some hope, but will not change anything. Still,
No,
the
but that's what
government
I'm
is
doing. But
killing
I
them.
can't. I'm sorry, I
Yes,
can't talk, Roy. I can't talk about that on an interview. I'm talking about it in the back, and I'm talking to my party, and I'm talking to people about it to be awareness. And you have to start with the first move, and then you can go further on. So that's what I can do. I can't. If I had a magic wand, I would make the world a fantastic place, but I
good.
can't.
I'm sure. Okay. But anyway, I really appreciate your time. It
Thank
was
you.
nice to talk to you, and we are looking forward to have more people like you caring about the human rights, women rights all over the world, and
Thank you.
looking for their hands to help us to get to the point that we can change this brutal government and bring more hope, happiness, freedom to our country.
That's exactly what I'm fighting for, and you too. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Me
Nice to
too.
talk. Bye.
Nice to talk to you.